So as an apprentice plumber, coming through the trade in the late 60s, I did various activities with my family business that had contact with asbestos, and as a consequence to that, I've since been diagnosed with Mesothelioma. So essentially what that is a tumour that attacks the lungs or around the lungs, and as a consequence to that brings with it some fairly nasty side effects. So essentially that's how I contracted it. It's a very unusual disease in that it sits in the body that remains dormant for many, many years, 40, 50 years, and for whatever reason it decides then to present itself in a whole range of different nasty aspects.
We were diagnosed, Jim was diagnosed on the 3rd of December 2021 over the phone because of COVID. The doctor wasn't able to have a face-on appointment with us, which was, quite challenging to hear over the phone. To be quite honest, we did not know what mesothelioma was. I had to Google it. The doctor did say that it was from Jim's time in the construction industry. So when I Googled it, it was obviously caused by exposure to asbestos many years ago. So then we just did a little bit more research. That weekend we were totally in shock, had no idea the impact it was going to have on our lives. And that's really how we learnt about it. No idea. And it was the best day of our life when we found Segelov Tyalor, because they have...
Well, it's helped, hasn't it?
Changed our lives. And I mean that, David. Tanya has changed our lives. Well, I Googled compensation on that first weekend, and I just happened to mention to Jim, you can get compensation for this illness. And Jim said, we're not going down that track, because the thought of a legal process for us was just too daunting. And then on the Monday morning, for some reason, whether Jim had been thinking about it over that weekend, because we'd actually hibernated, hadn't told our kids or anything, we were trying to come to terms with it ourselves. And for some reason on that Monday morning, before we went to the surgeon, Jim said, I think we should follow up, talk to someone about the possibility of compensation. So I had already found your company's name, and that's when I put the call through, and honestly it was within half an hour. And then Tanya spent probably an hour on the Zoom with us. She was so precise in the information she required. You could tell just by speaking with her, her level of knowledge really gave us a lot of comfort. She knew what she was talking about. And it just really snowballed from there. But even the experts that Segelov Tyalor uses, the OT, the expert accountant, also professional, easy to deal with, understanding of Jim's condition, compassionate, respectful. All these things are really what we experienced from that very first Zoom. And there wasn't one moment when we said, gosh, I wish we hadn't done this is all too hard. Because everybody who was supporting us made it so much more bearable. She's been an absolute angel. She was from the day we rang Tanya. I can even remember the day, it was the 6th of December. And that afternoon Jim had an appointment with the specialist to have this talparodesis surgery, which in itself was horrific. I rang, and when I spoke to Gabrielle on the phone, I couldn't even remember the name mesothelioma. That's how new to it we were. And Gabrielle mentioned it, and I said, yes, that's what my husband's been diagnosed with. It would be less than half an hour. Tanya was on the phone with us on a Zoom call. From that moment on, she was batting for us every step of the way. Incredible lady. Incredible.
So it's really just by luck that you
Absolute luck. Well, I believe in God and God's intervention, and that's her name, your company's name just came up, Segelov Tyalor. Compensation for mesothelioma sufferers, and then we've had, as Tanya may have told you, we've had previous experience in the legal system, and it wasn't pleasant. It was horrendous. No win, no fee. And for us, that was just everything, because we didn't have any money behind us. We're still recovering. And she was true to her word on every single thing. Even like applying for workers' compensation. She was just so helpful with that. And Alex was helpful. And I can't honestly say, during the process from first talking to Tanya and coming to the court, I can't say there was anything stressful about the process, because she made it so simple. She explained things in simple terms. She told us seamless. She told us exactly what to expect. She was just amazing.